Well, good evening, everybody. It's the Cryptid Huntress. I'm Jessica Jones. Man, we have such a great show tonight. Thank you all so much for being here. We're going to be talking about one of my very favorite cryptids, some kind of weird entity that may be known for eating corpses of dead soldiers on a Civil War battlefield, and much more. Y'all stay tuned. We got a lot to talk about tonight. We're going to be talking about old green eyes tonight. And I have a good buddy who I met at the the East Tennessee Squatch Out. I do a lot of events, y'all. Okay. And this is the East Tennessee Squatch Out with Manimal Research. I met Greg and his lovely wife, Kelsey, there. Greg Smith is with Backwoods Cryptids. You guys, please go to Backwoods Cryptids on YouTube and subscribe to his channel. They're just some of the nicest folks, and Greg gets out, and Kelsey too, actually. They get out and do a lot of boots on the ground field research up in Northwest Georgia, my stomping grounds, okay? And they have researched old green eyes, okay? Because they're actually from Chickamauga, where I talk about all the time, because I love this cryptid. They actually live up there and do boots on the ground research, like I said, of old green eyes and Bigfoot, of course, as well. Now, what is old green eyes? We don't really know. Okay, we don't really know. I did a remote viewing target with that a while back. We're going to get into that tonight too, because the data did suggest it's some sort of an apparition, an entity, but it has something to do with body parts trafficking. It's that weird. Okay, it's that weird. But it is an ancient entity that's been around for a very long time, for centuries at least. So, man, y'all buckle up. We're going there tonight. We're also going to be talking about Corpsewood Manor. He has done some boots on the ground field investigating of that place, as I have as well. And there's other things we're going to be talking about tonight as well. So y'all know the drill. Y'all go over to my website, thecryptidhuntress.com. If you'd like to catch up on my shows, you can either go to my YouTube channel, my Rumble channel, my Facebook. My Facebook page has all my shows there. Well, some of them have been deleted off of Facebook for no reason. But yeah, so go to my website. All my shows are there. And also, I'm on all the podcasting platforms except for Apple. I haven't gotten on that one yet. I'm sorry, y'all. But you can listen to me also on podcast platforms. And I have a Patreon if you guys would like to support my work and become a member of my Patreon. Thank you guys so much for all your support. All my Patreon members, man, you guys, it means the world to me. It does. And also, my shop is on sale. I believe it's on sale through tomorrow right now. So y'all go check out my shop. Check out the goods at War Woman Goods. It really helps. And I appreciate you guys and all the support. All right, let's get this show on, man. It's Saturday night. It's a beautiful night. I've had a great weekend. I hope you guys have had a good weekend too. And I hope we're going to, I know we're going to have a really good time tonight bringing Greg up. So let me give a little overview, okay, of what we're going to be talking about tonight. Okay, so we're going to be talking about Greg Smith of Backwoods Cryptids, boots on the ground field research tonight out of Northwest Georgia. And let's talk about old green eyes for a minute. Okay, because old green eyes is a strange, otherworldly creature, half man, half beast. It wanders Chickamauga Battlefield on two legs. It has long, stringy hair down to its waist, and it's known for its large, glowing green eyes. Now, the legend comes from Native American legend and lore centuries ago. But people are still seeing old green eyes and reporting the eyes to this day. Now, there were reports that green eyes was wandering among the dead soldiers at Snodgrass Hill at Chickamauga Battlefield shortly after the Battle of Chickamauga. Some say he was eating corpses. Okay, and we're going to get into that tonight. Okay. Greg Smith grew up in the backwoods of the small northwestern Georgia town of Chickamauga. He was raised on hunting and fishing, so he was always out in the woods. He developed an interest in cryptids thanks to the old TV show Unsolved Mysteries, which would show the segments about unknown creatures like Bigfoot, Mothman, and other creatures, which got him hooked on cryptozoology. He would watch and read anything he could find on the subject, just like me. And upon gaining access to the internet, he was open to the world of cryptids, and by this time, there were many more shows on the subject. The show Mountain Monsters inspired Greg to begin doing his own boots on the ground field research, and he figured if those old dudes could do it, so could he. After some years, he was weaponed up and mobile, and Backwoods Cryptids began. Greg gave his research his team name because he's this is in quotes, a backwoods son of a bitch, and is out there in the woods looking for cryptid creatures. I love that. Greg, you're awesome. For Greg, it has been a great and fun ride ever since he met and became friends with some amazing people with similar interests. You can find Greg's adventures and research on his YouTube channel, Backwoods Cryptids, where he shares his field research, investigations, the creatures he's hunting, and many interviews with witnesses and people he's out in the field with. So please help me welcome to the show for the very first time on the Cryptid Hunters channel, my buddy, Mr. Greg Smith.
How's it going?
What's up, Greg?
Now, one more thing about what got me off my rear is actually my wife. She's the one who finally gave me that final nudge I need to get out there. So, if it wasn't for Kelsey, there wouldn't be a Backwoods Cryptids.
Oh, well, tell Kelsey I said what's up, because she's amazing too. We had a really good time at the East Tennessee Squatch Out a while back. Man, we got to camp out right next to each other. Actually, we were right there in that vicinity, and you guys were so nice. And
that's something my grandma will raise me.
Well, you have so much knowledge in the research field, and you've done a lot of boots on the ground field research. I was super impressed. Okay, and you and my son, y'all got along with my son real well too. I know Ben's out there being crazy, and right. Mm-hmm. But we had a great time out there, and I was really impressed with the fact that you're out there researching some places that I've researched, including Corpsewood Manor.
Yeah, what took me there was Bigfoot sightings actually at Corpsewood. Well,
oh yeah,
originally it was me, Kelsey, and Derek Walls of Bigfoot and things. Yeah. And another gentleman out there, his vehicle got stuck trying to go actually over to Corpsewood. So we're trying to get his vehicle unstuck while we're waiting on the tow folks. And they get there. It's actually people who are related to the guys who did the killings at Corpsewood. And they told us about Bigfoot encounters there. That just made me keep wanting to go back.
Yeah, that gives
me the willies.
Yeah, that's really weird that like one of y'all, the truck got stuck there. You called the tow truck, and it happened to be one of the family members of one of the people accused of unaliving Dr. Charles Scudder and Joseph Odom. What are the odds?
In that small area, very good. Small town pride, you know.
It does. It's a very small town, and I can only imagine back in the 80s, I think it was the 70s and the early 1980s. Yeah, those two gentlemen who were in a relationship together, driving around in there. I think they had like a black Jeep with or either it was a pink Jeep. I can't remember. It was a black Jeep, and it had a pentagram on it. Okay, because they practiced Satanism. Okay. Yeah, in Tryon, right? Can you imagine back then in Tryon?
Oh, that back then that was a big taboo, and they usually try to run them out of town.
Yes, yeah. So it's a really interesting story, but I don't know. I figured let's talk first about the Old Green Eyes, okay, tonight, because I want to hear about the festival. I am so sad. I was busy. I had another event. I couldn't make it to the Old Green Eyes Festival. Tell me about that.
Oh, it was amazing. It's the first one we ever had for this particular creature, and the guy I actually had a bit of a chat with the guy who one of the big founders of it. And he said his inspiration was because they went to the Mothman Festival, and they said, why don't we have something like this back home? We got a cryptid. And they started the Green Eyes Festival. We had the first one ever. They asked me to be the tour guide because my YouTube channel had a lot of good vendors there. One of our friends from the camp out was actually there. The lady who spoke after you.
Lori.
Yes, she was a guest speaker there.
Yeah.
Which I didn't get to see much of the festival. I was there until the trolley rides began. Which they can see I got a bunch of people talking about those Green Eyes stories and encounters.
Uh-huh.
And we even got me doing my the trolley tour on my YouTube channel.
Oh, I saw that. I saw that. You know, it was really great. It's a small town festival, just like I'm going to be at the Molina Bigfoot Festival in a couple of weeks down here at Elkins Creek. I know you know about the Elkins Creek.
Oh yeah, that's the most famous casting in Georgia.
Yeah, you and Kelsey should come down.
Right over here on my book. Hang on, I'll show you.
Okay. Yeah, show me. Yeah, okay. So the Elkins Creek, to the audience, I think most people in the audience probably know about the Elkins Creek cast. That's one of the most famous, it is the most famous foot casting, the print casting of a Bigfoot out of Georgia. It was down in Molina, Georgia. And you got the book.
I also got another good book for people doing Bigfoot research around here.
What is that? Bigfoot in Georgia? I don't have that book. I need to get that.
Hey, I got them both off Amazon.
Okay. Well, I need to look that up. And I might write my own book one day, actually. I need to do that. And you could too. You could too. Well, I
think I'd have to probably put mine on the because as you've seen this on me explaining myself, I do have a mouth.
Yeah, you like to talk too, just like me.
Yeah.
And but yeah, I'd love if you guys in the audience get a chance to go to any kind of small town cryptid festival, please do it. Please do it because
it's always a lot of fun.
Right, it's a lot of fun. You learn a lot about you meet like-minded people, and you can probably hear a lot of stories about your local legends and lore, and personal encounters that people have with those local legends and lore. And I can only imagine. Did you meet a lot of people up there that had encounters with old green eyes?
Yes, but only 9 of them willing to go on camera.
Only 9? That's a lot.
Yeah.
That's good. Okay, tell me about it. What was the most incredible encounter you can remember?
This one girl, I can't remember her name, but she had this very modern hairstyle. I'll say it that way because I'm trying to be. It was dyed, real short hair.
Love it.
Nose piercing thingy, like one of those little studs. And she talked about an encounter she had. She's going through the battlefield, coming from the Corpwood side, and this fog rolled in, and she saw a figure in the fog. With those eyes, and she saw the eyes in the fog. And they say she didn't go to the park the rest of the way to the park that night. I don't think.
Oh my gosh! Okay,
yeah, like that, something like that.
I mean, this could be pretty frightening. Okay, because can you describe to the audience what people describe usually when they do have an encounter? I know she said that something was in the fog. I do hear about this being in the fog a lot. But how big is it? What is
fog in the battlefield itself? Because it's weird. You can go be right there in Fort O, just outside the park at like the Sable Lot, which is one of the local stores we have out here. And it's clear as a bell. But as soon as you get into the park, as soon as you get into that park right there, it's enveloped in a very spooky fog, like something out of a horror movie, all the way through to the end. And it's right there in Walker County. That's right.
Okay.
And, but what people see when they have these encounters, it varies from person to person. It seems like it seems like it can shapeshift, which makes me think it could be a skinwalker.
Ooh. Okay. Well, okay. So that's like the old debate. Like the biggest debate is what exactly is old green eyes, because most people say that they think it's a Bigfoot. Okay. A lot of people think it's a gugway, which you know what a gugway is, right? It's like a type 3 Sasquatch that's like violent.
Yeah.
With, they're a little more violent with usually like a muzzle.
Yeah, like a Dogman or a muzzle, kind of like an ape, like a silverback gorilla does.
Yes. Yeah. So there's that. Some people think it could be a Dogman.
Yeah,
okay,
and I even found claw marks. I think I sent you the picture of those, and that's my hand showing the claw marks on this tree. Look how deep those claw marks are into that tree, and look how I cannot spread my hand far enough apart to get as wide as they were.
Wow.
So that's as far as I get my hand apart. So whatever it was, it's got big hands.
Yeah, you have some really interesting evidence and some really cool pictures there. And I've watched a lot of your videos on your YouTube channel, and you've come across some really interesting and cool tree structures where the trees have been either flipped over or there's no root ball and they've been torn out of the ground and put into X's and stuff. So super compelling evidence up there. And I know from personal experience there are a lot of Bigfoots in North Georgia. a
Yeah.
lot.
No, my best structure, I lost the picture of it. It's on an older phone, so I don't have it no more, unfortunately. But it was almost like a complete teepee structure. I mean, barely any way to see inside of it.
Wow.
And
Yeah.
that's a graveyard. The old graveyard that's in there. Like the fenced off one up in there, the Chickamauga side of the park.
Mm-hmm.
I
Okay.
forget the name of the graveyard, but that we was past it, and then we rounded the corner on the trail, and there this big tree structure was. And I mean, it was tall, like almost telephone pole sized limbs.
Yeah.
No person could by themselves could have made this.
Wow. Okay. It's wild. Okay, but we pretty much established there's a lot of Bigfoot activity in that area.
Yeah.
And from my team's research, we do a lot of research up there. We have been to Chickamauga, not Chickamauga. I've not researched. I've been to Chickamauga Battlefield, but I've never researched it as a cryptid researcher. I've only visited there.
It'd be fun.
Yeah, I want to go back at night. Now, can you even go there at night? Is it okay to go there, or do you have to get permission?
As long as the rangers don't catch you, and depending on what ranger catches you. See, most of them know me because my uncle worked in the park, so I get away with a little bit more.
Okay, that's important to know. That's good to know, because I know that especially after watching this show, people are going to be interested in going up there. And
now the basic rule of thumb is at sundown, they want people out of the park.
Okay.
Because worried about, and it's happened plenty of times in the past, vandals, people trying to steal parts of the monuments. And they even had devil worshiping up there.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And now Snodgrass cabin was actually broken into and the floor busted up.
Oh, okay. Well, that's interesting that you say that, because Corpsewood Manor is also known as Devil Worshippers Mountain.
Yeah.
How close is Chickamauga Battlefield to Corpsewood Manor?
I'd say it's probably about an hour, maybe an hour and a couple of minutes away.
Okay. Now, I thought it was closer than that, but I guess maybe as a crow flies, it'd be closer. But see, it's in the mountains. You got to do all those winding roads and logging roads and stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Hey.
Okay.
Now, if it was a straight shot, if we go to fly like Superman, it wouldn't take that long at all.
Right. Or if we had a portal, it could be instant. Okay. But we don't have portals pretty much. But okay. So
Kelsey just looked it up. It's 45 minutes. Exactly.
45 minutes. Okay. That would make sense. Perfect. So it's not too far. But as a crow flies, it's pretty close. And so there's a lot of, from what I was told, Anton LaVey came out, who was the head of the Church of Satan, came out and actually directed Dr. Scudder and Joseph Odom as to where to place their house.
Now, that's just hearsay. That's never been confirmed or denied. And
That's
maybe
true.
they're trying to get some TV time or some time on the net. Because the way I heard it, they were trying to find a place to put their mansion. They want to get away from everybody because of their lifestyle. And that place is extremely remote. Extreme, because there's like only maybe a few other houses up there.
Okay.
And
Okay.
Well,
no.
Sorry.
Keep going. Yeah,
right.
let's tell us.
Now, the reason it got its name Corpsewood is because when they first arrived at where they ended up putting the mansion, there was a bunch of dead trees there. So that's how it got its name, Corpsewood Manor. And the road leading to it, they called it Dead Horse Road because upon getting to that road, it was a dead horse on the road.
Oh. Okay. Well, it's very ominous. Okay.
Yeah.
It's very ominous. And once you get out there, okay, I know from experience, it is not fun. I mean, at nighttime, it's beautiful during the daytime, but at nighttime, it's not fun.
The darker it gets, the creepier it gets. And you get this feeling like you're being watched.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. Okay. Well, let's, I guess since we're talking about Corpsewood right now, and T-Bone, thank you for that super sticker. That's wonderful. Thank you so much for your support. I appreciate it. Okay, well, since we're talking about Corpsewood, let's talk about Corpsewood real quick, and then we'll go back to Green Eyes. Because for the audience, if you're not familiar with this, this is somewhere that Greg has done some research at, and so have I. But back in 1982, December of 1982, Dr. Charles Scudder, who had been a professor at Chicago University, I believe, and he was credited with creating like LSD 25.
Yep.
Okay. Like a drug. And him and his partner Joseph Odom and their two dogs. One of their dogs' name was Beelzebub. by the way. They were brutally unalived at their castle in the woods. I'll show you pictures right quick.
Yeah.
We'll go to this and we'll go back to Green Eyes in a second.
Now, while you got this picture up, that structure in the front before you go in the house, it's still partly standing. The gargoyle is missing. That creeps me out right by itself.
Yes, you know what? There's just the ruins of it now.
Yeah.
It's just the ruins.
There's no signs of the gargoyle anywhere. No pieces can be. I've looked. I cannot find any piece that can resemble the gargoyle.
Yeah, these are the two men and one of their dogs.
Oh, mess.
Now this is their pink room, as they call it. It's a chicken coop at the bottom, and the top of this room right here is where they had, let's just say, extracurricular activities that involved like
blackberry wine with the LSD in it and parties.
It was parties. It was adult parties, if y'all know what we mean. Okay, adult parties. Yeah, I don't want to get into detail with that, but let's just say it was risque, right? Risque. This is the inside of their house. They built this house with their bare hands. Okay, but it had stained glass that had, of course, Baphomet and a lot of like satanic ritual type stuff on it. And this is actually Brock. I think his name is Brock West, who was accused of their unaliving there. Yeah. Okay, and to this day, there's satanic rituals that go on there. And when I went, there was blood everywhere. There had been it looked like someone had been unalive there. We were hoping it was like chicken blood, but it turned out to be human blood. Okay, it turned out to be human blood, and of course, this is not from Corpsewood, but this is kind of what they do out there. Okay, it's just for some photographic, examples. There's a lot of like satanic ritual stuff that still goes on there today.
Yes, and people go there are told not to remove a stone, or else there's the spirit of Dr. Scudder and his partner would haunt you.
Yes. So you got to be really careful. I don't recommend people go there personally, but there's always the risk of having like attachments and stuff. And we didn't get a whole lot of evidence when we went there. We were only there for a day and a night for the most part.
Well, what me and Derek did, we knew they liked wine, so we took one of those little wine bottles, and we knew they liked hemp, so we got some of the stuff you get at the store. And left that as an offering to hopefully make them leave us alone.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So you took, so that's good. So a lot of people will take tobacco or something, right?
Yeah.
And leave it as an offering.
Dr. Scudder, not only liked his wine with his LSD, but he liked his, for lack of a better word, let's just call it hashish.
Hashish. Yes. So they like to do, I guess drugs. I know we're not supposed to probably say that on YouTube, but yeah. And so,
the LSD and a certain plant, mostly is all they did.
Okay. Well. So they were brutally unalived one night. Brutally unalived with their
story about the girl who was trying to run away from it and everything.
Yeah.
It was a girl, her boyfriend, and a friend of his. Now, the girl's boyfriend that's supposed to be good friends with them.
Yeah.
And they thought they had this money because of that big mansion they had built. But they used all their money that they inherited, Dr. Scudder had inherited, to build the place. So they were broke.
Yes. They were broke as a joke.
For their money, but they didn't have.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, okay. So this is it's one of those like destination spots for people that are in Northwest Georgia. Just like when I was in high school, we used to go to Mahaley. I went one time in high school, but people would go to Mahaley Lancaster's grave because everybody said she was a witch, and people would do terrible things to her tombstone and stuff. And so I've talked about that on my show before. Very disrespectful. Okay, to that lady.
Yeah, I'm just going to say this to anyone who goes to the battlefield or even to Corpsewood. Respect the fact that you may not be agreeing with how they lived. Respect the fact that it's still hallowed ground, technically.
Exactly. Yes. And yeah, Andrew knows what's up with that. Okay, so but we have so if you go to look up like reports of cryptids, in the Northwest Georgia area. This area has a lot of Bigfoot sightings and Dogman sightings too.
In fact,
Okay.
I have Dogman sighting. This happened after I may get literally about 15 minutes down the road from me is Cloudland Canyon.
Cloudland.
Dogman sightings there, and I've even read the whole news report on my YouTube.
Okay, so Cloudland Canyon, you guys, is up in Northwest Georgia. It's not too far from Chattanooga, Tennessee, right?
No, it's actually right there on Lookout Mountain. It's between us and Dade County.
Okay. Well, lots of high strangeness. You know, my mom grew up there, at Cloudland Canyon, and she would tell us about a cabin they had there. As kids, she had 4 brothers, and there were times where they were outside the cabin one night. It seems like she was saying they were outside their cabin, and they looked in the window, and they had a typewriter in the house, and the typewriter the buttons were going down by themselves, and it was typing all by itself. Or maybe that was at night when they would go to sleep.
I deal with Cryptid, Bigfoot, Dogman, ain't that fine. I don't deal with ghosts because if they getting aggressive, I can't blast them.
Blast them.
The same thing factory. You can't get the shotgun full of salt rock and get rid of a ghost.
Yes. Trying to. Yeah. Okay, Alicia, I do. Okay, I need to go back and explain what that human blood was about real quick. Okay, because I kind of left it on a cliffhanger there. I'm sorry, y'all. I forgot. I get sidetracked. Okay, because Alicia said it's crazy. The authorities historically indicate that ritualistic sacrifice is not as common as we would believe. But then I go out, and I found human blood. Okay, well, here's the thing that I wanted to bring up tonight. Okay, because we're dealing with a battlefield entity. We are also dealing with satanic worship and rituals that are being done, up in this area. And a lot of times, I've talked about this a lot on the show, and I've had my guests and my co-hosts that come on, and we talk about places like this that require blood. The land requires blood. And I know that sounds really weird, but when you get into the occult and you get into you look into like even demonology and stuff, sometimes there are things that are conjured there. Conjured. And I don't know if that would it could explain all of these Bigfoot reports that come from up there, or the Dogman, let's just say Dogman and werewolf reports for the most part. But so we're up at Corpsewood. We get up there and there's all this blood everywhere, literally blood splattered all over the place. And there are pictures of people, women, children, mostly women and children, and some men, and like clothing articles and all this stuff. But there was like a Ouija board, all sorts of weird stuff. But there's blood, and we had made a video and put it on our team's YouTube channel back. This was like 11, 12 years ago. Okay, it was a long time ago, and we were hoping that it was. We didn't test the blood, but we were hoping that it was like chicken or animal blood. We were hoping it wasn't human blood. Well, a woman was watching our show. She came across our videos. We had like a 3-part series on Corpsewood, and she contacted the head of my team, and she said, "Hey, that was my son's blood that you guys found up there." And she explained that he and his friends had gone. We could see, because we're all trackers. Okay, so we could see that like a whole group of people had left out like a herd of elephants. Suddenly, you could tell before we had gotten there. She said that the week that we were there, one night her son and his friends went there, and they were going to build a fire, and he had his hatchet with them. And she said that he went to go swing his hatchet, and he had a freak accident where the hatchet slipped and it went into his thigh, and it cut his artery in his thigh. And she said that his friends grabbed him and they rushed him. They carried him, and a few of them had to carry him all together because he's a big kid. Carried him to the vehicle and took him. He barely made it to the hospital, and had to have blood transfusions because he almost died from losing that much blood.
Goodness gracious.
No,
you
right?
know, you talking about that made me think of the time I was up there last time with balls.
Mm-hmm.
Balls and you have something in common when it comes to being able to have these abilities that I do not.
Yeah.
I'm just a soldier. I don't have all the cool abilities.
Well, did something happen with him up there?
He kept saying he heard a voice saying the ground wants blood.
No. Are you serious?
I'm dead serious.
Okay, that was in my remote viewing data for that. I wrote down the land requires blood. Okay. When I was actually remote viewing this as a blind target, I kept hearing the land requires blood. So that's weird that he said that.
Yeah, I thought that because you talking about that made me remember that because Corpsewood, I don't want to go back. I mean, if I have to for investigation, I will. But I'm going decked out like the Commandos from Predator movie. Okay.
I know, right? Hey, do you mind telling the audience a little bit about because you're a military veteran. You had a really interesting job. I don't know. Is it okay if we mention like what you did with the military?
To an extent, yes. I was U.S. Air Force, and I made things, and the devices that were meant to go boom, I made sure they didn't go boom. Let's leave it at that.
Yeah, we're talking about explosives and stuff, y'all. So Greg had a very dangerous job. To say that he is adventurous and is not scared of anything, really, is an understatement. Okay, because it takes nerves of steel to be able to do that. What you did in the military. So thank you for your service, by the way.
Do it. In fact, that's why my wife got me this cup because I was in the Air Force.
You're in the Air Force. Oh my gosh, I love that.
She got me that, and that I use this cup more than any other.
Oh my gosh. Well, that's wonderful, and I think that carries a lot of weight in the research field. When I'm out there researching with when I'm researching with people who have like backgrounds like you, like I swear, like I feel safer out there. To be honest, when I'm out there researching with people like yourself, who you've got to be calm under pressure. You've got to be, and I can appreciate that out in the field. So,
here's a good example of how that came into play recently. As y'all, if you've watched my YouTube, so you know my cousin Cindy is now part of the team.
Yeah.
Well, we got to about the Estelle Mines. Again, that's out in Pigeon Mountain, about Bigfoot activity out there. That may be where they're hiding out at. So we went to check it out. We found a nest.
Okay.
We go a little bit past the nest, and it's so thick out there you can't really see anything coming at you in the woods. But I can tell what it was. It was big enough. It was shaking trees 10 foot up off the air. And it started coming at us. I fired a round right toward it. 2 rounds. And I said, "Oh, cuz, you can tell on my backside, we're getting out of here." And I stayed behind her because what it was behind us. So it kept coming. I just started shooting again.
Oh my gosh.
Back to the first mine that you come to on the trail, asking for us. We caught our breath. And we double timed the whole way to that point. That's almost a mile.
Oh man, I know it can get really dicey out there when you're out there, especially when something.
You're cool. You or people out there with you are going to get hurt. So I want to stress: if you're going to be out there doing this, keep your cool no matter the situation.
That's right. You got to keep your cool. That's me too. That's why I can appreciate all the mind control training I've had and stuff too, because it's really a lot of it's in your head. You know what I mean? It's like if you can be calm within, you can be calm with that, outside too. Okay, so it's all about meditating too and stuff like that. But you just have a lot of experience in that, so I can appreciate it. And I also appreciate you guys. Long Island Bigfoot, I saw you've been a member for, I think it says 7 months. Thank you for being a member of my channel. I appreciate that. And Alicia, thank you for that super sticker. That's so sweet of you too. I appreciate that. And also, I think I have some more here. Noxie, thank you so much for that super sticker. I appreciate that. And you guys are so sweet. And also Andrew, thank you. He said the stories of people stealing bricks and stuff from what's left of the house, that's the Corpsewood, and coming back because they had car accidents and bad luck from it.
Yep, that's exactly what I was talking about right there. And those wrecks were attributed to the spirit of either Dr. Scudder or his partner.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, that actually sounds a lot like, first of all, the Bell Witch Cave. Okay, you don't take a rock, right? And also,
I would probably just move one from one location of the area to another just to see if anything happens to that rock. I'd put a camera on it.
No, I wouldn't do that. Okay, it's bad. That's bad juju. Okay, it's bad juju. I wouldn't touch anything.
From one point to the other point. Like, if it's on the left side of the cave, put it on the right side of the cave.
Yeah, you know what? I always thought, like, if I go to the Bell Witch Cave, I'm gonna wear like a crime scene outfit. Okay, I'm gonna have like a hairnet, and I'm gonna have like a hazmat suit, and I'm gonna make sure I have nothing on my feet when I get in the car. Okay.
And I'll be out there armed up to the teeth.
I know you got to be careful. But also at Mahaley Lancaster's grave too, down in Heard County. If you go down there, and they said that if you were to, this is back in the 90s. Okay. People go down there, and unfortunately they would like desecrate her grave and stuff. And then when they would try to leave, their cars wouldn't start, or they would get a flat tire or something.
You may not agree with how they live, but live and rest in peace.
Exactly. Yes. Everybody deserves to rest in peace, for sure. So, okay. All right. Wait. Let's go back. Okay. So we've jumped from Old Green Eyes over to Corpsewood Manor, and then into your Bigfoot stuff. Okay, and the Bigfoot stuff. Now let's kind of get back to for a minute, because we were talking about the Corpsewood.
Well, start out because we talked about Satan worshippers up on actually Snodgrass Hill.
Okay, yeah, let's talk about that real quick, because I didn't know about that. Now, I have heard that on that area where they have this huge tower out there, and I've heard that there are suicide, or excuse me, I probably shouldn't say that.
Actually, my grandma knew one, but she jumped off of it.
Oh my gosh! Now, I heard that people do unalive themselves on this tower. Now, is that true?
Yes, it is. Unfortunately, that's why they closed off at night now. Right now, like you can see, it's a daytime picture. It's open. You can go up there. It's a great view. People also try to climb up the backside of the tower. There's a pole goes up, and they fell off of it trying to climb up at night. But the most famous ghost up there is a story of a bride. She was left at the altar, and in her heartbreak, she climbed up to the top of the tower and threw herself off. And now every night around midnight. And we've actually seen this, by the way. And I nope, time to go. Kelsey especially saw it.
Oh my God, that's heartbreaking.
That's the people saying they can't hear me on there. Testing 1, 2, 3.
I checked while ago. I could hear you.
Okay. Well, there's some people saying they can't hear me. According to Kelsey, she's watching this with her phone on silent.
I did see a comment. I was double checking. I could hear you. Okay.
Okay. But anyway, she threw herself off, and now every night, you can watch her spirit reenacting the suicide.
Oh my gosh, that's terrible. Okay, and okay, so this goes back to what we were saying earlier about the land requires blood. Okay, I feel like there are just some places like battlegrounds, Civil War battlefields, places like Corpsewood Manor. There are places that require blood, and they're going to get it any way they can. Yep. And whether that's a war, whether that is accidents, okay, or land disputes, or anything, I don't know, unalivings and stuff. This battlefield. Okay, so during the Battle of Chickamauga, if I'm not mistaken, I think there are like 34,000 men died over the course of like 3 days. Yeah, okay, it was a lot, right?
Yeah. I have my notes on that actually out in the truck still when I was doing some research. Sorry about that.
Okay, there were about 34,000 men that passed away over about 3 days, and they were buried. It took months. I'm talking about like up to a year to bury them all. From what I know,
missing. They never found the remains.
Well, do you think that Old Green Eyes could have had something to do with that?
Yes, I do. Because I came across one story when I first started researching Old Green Eyes. These two soldiers were sent out to try to get bring back some of the remains so they can have a proper burial. And in the course of them trying to find some of their comrades, they came across a creature covered in hair, protruding fangs from its bottom jaw, and the smell of rotting meat on its breath.
Oh my gosh. Okay,
and immediately about face ran back to camp and refused to go back out there alone. Just them two.
Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm trying to see if I have some more pictures. There's actually, this is actually like a game card.
Now that's not a legit card. There's an app people can go make up their own cards for fun. That's what that is.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I had some more pictures, but I can't find them. I had too many pictures here.
Oh,
Okay.
good.
Of Old Green Eyes. Okay. Like I said, it's up for debate as to what Old Green Eyes is.
Yeah, like
Now,
you said, they're still saying Bigfoot. They're still saying Dogman. There are so many varied descriptions. I'm under the impression it could be a skinwalker.
I think it is too. Okay, so I have a little bit of history on the battle there, and this is what he's most known for, is being seen on this battlefield, sitting over the dead bodies and consuming them.
Yes,
Okay,
that's actually happened on Snodgrass, according to the stories.
it says, okay, so over 34,000 soldiers lost their lives on this site over the course of a 3-day battle in 1863. That's during the Civil War. The land is saturated in blood and the suffering of many men. Chickamauga is a Native American word for river of death. Now, it was
That's
called
specifically the
Chickamauga
Cherokee.
before
That's
that.
specifically the Cherokee.
Ah, okay. Well, it was named Chickamauga, the river of death, before this battle took place there.
Yeah, back in the native tongue, it's called Chickamauga.
Chickamauga. Oh, wow. Okay, so it was already the river of death, and then they had this. I'm sure it was a river of death at this point too. So throughout the centuries, it's kind of probably been a place of a lot of bloodshed.
Yeah,
I
there's
guess.
actually one spot that's called Bloody Pond in the battlefield. And that's not actual pond, it's just where all the gunfire and people losing blood pulled up and made like a little pond of pure blood.
Okay, that's horrible. That's terrible. Okay. But even okay, so that was back in 1863, and even up to today, there are unalivings on this field. People going up to that tower, and it's the tower. That's what kind of blows my mind, is that a lot of people go up to that tower to go jump off the top of it to go die.
Yes, unfortunately. Like I said, my grandmother knew one of the ladies who threw herself off the top.
Oh no. So sorry.
I didn't know her, unfortunately, but I was just a little kid, so I didn't remember her much. My grandma worked with her at the local grocery store.
Oh my gosh. Well, the locals there. So you're a local. Okay, you're a local. There's a lot of locals. This is one of the top like legends and lore of this area, right? It's Old Green Eyes.
Yeah, it is the number one. If you talk about Chickamauga and legends, you gotta mention Green Eyes. You can't get out of it.
I know, right?
He's the main thing, and I actually had one buddy of mine on my YouTube. He's a pastor. Came up with a possibility of what if Old Green Eyes is a demon. And I can't remember everything details, but you can go on my YouTube channel and watch. It says Old Green Eyes, a demon, and it's a question mark.
Demon.
And he goes into in-depth detail using Bible scripture to explain his theory. And he's got old pictures and everything to go with it.
Wow.
And it even has a prayer if you want to get saved at the end of it.
Oh my gosh. Yes. You got to have that. Yeah. You got to protect yourselves, okay, spiritually from whatever this is. Now, people take pictures of orbs. There are a lot of orbs in this battlefield. Now, we know
audio recording from the tower, right? You can hear a kid's voice at night when the tower is locked up. And I listened to it literally for an hour just in repeat, trying to figure out what the voice is saying. I finally figured out it's going hello.
Okay. Wow.
Now, here's the creepy thing. We're over on this bridge on the other end of the park. Me, Derek, Kelsey, and this bridge also has a little bit of haunted history to it. Supposedly a woman drowned her child there and then killed herself.
Oh, no.
And supposedly you can see them at night on the bridge. But we're getting out to check the bridge out for the first time, and we hear a kid's voice, hello. I grabbed flashlights because it spooked all of us because we didn't expect no one to be out there, especially that child at around 1 o'clock in the morning. But it was obviously the voice we heard, and we're searching the woods. We see nothing. I even go up under the bridge and don't find nothing.
Oh, no.
Yes,
oh my gosh.
I will go to places no one else probably would.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. It's well, you know, historically Civil War battlefields have a lot of ghosts. Yes. And so they have a lot of ghosts, a lot of phantom screaming and moaning and stuff like from the soldiers.
That too. When we was at the tower one time, me and Kelsey, me and her. Now there's 2 parking areas for the tower. There's one up there by the tower, and there's one down there at the bottom where the restrooms are. So we're parked. The back of our truck is facing the tower, and I'm watching the tower in the mirror, trying to see if we can see anything, right? And all of a sudden, I hear a man's voice screaming like he's being torn apart. on this from in front of us, and I go out and I start going toward it. About that time, she messaged me saying, "Hey, I just saw someone jump off the tower." So I'm thinking, okay, someone just killed themselves. They do something, and it turned out she saw the ghost.
Oh my gosh! Oh wow!
At this point, I'm hearing this. Don't know, and I go on and check out where I heard the noises coming from with the screaming. I don't see no signs of blood, nothing, no signs of animal tracks. Like I said, I'm like you said, I'm a hunter. I know how to find tracks. I know how to look for signs. I saw no signs of a person, animal, nothing, except for deer, which there's an abundance of the white-tailed deer in that park, and a turkey. I saw that, but I didn't see any signs of a predator or signs of where someone had been harmed.
Oh my gosh! So there's a abundance of resources for something like a Bigfoot or a Gugway to eat there if you've got turkeys and deer and stuff.
And there's a big part where we have the Chickamauga Creek coming right through the park, and he'll go canoeing on this thing and kayaking on this creek, so it's a substantial water source, you know.
Yeah.
So everything a creature would need to survive there is there, predator or herbivore.
Oh yeah, Terry Brown's up in here. What's up, Terry? Terry was with us at the East Tennessee Squawk Out. Hey,
Terry, I gotta give him a shout because he actually sent me a couple of songs to choose from for a custom song for my YouTube, and I am working on a new intro video to go with the song that I've chosen. So keep an eye out for that, folks.
Yeah. Terry, thank you so much for the super sticker. Thank you for being here. I saw you, and I also saw Mark Lynch in the chat tonight. Mark with Crypted Search Investigations, I think is your group, CSI. Thank you, Mark, for being here too. They were all with us at the East Tennessee Squatch Out.
Fact, yeah. Terry there was parked right behind me a little bit.
Yeah, we were all. Okay, for the audience, y'all, we were camped out on top of each other, literally. Like our tents were like almost touching us.
No, some of us actually had the ropes from one tent touch crossing like this. Remember? Yeah,
I tripped and fell down once or twice. I think I did. I don't know if I fell down all the way, but I tripped a bunch.
No, you just stumbled. I don't know how your boy kept from stumbling because he was running around like the Flash.
He's a ninja. That's how he's a ninja.
Yeah. I believe it.
Ninjaman Striker is what I call him, actually. So yes, that's his name. But we had a wonderful time up there, and we exchanged a lot of really cool stories about the Northwest Georgia, the Tennessee area. Terry, I want you to come on and talk about your little people stories too. I really enjoyed that. So yeah, but this has been. Yeah, we just, that's like the beauty of going to these like in-person events is that we get to meet each other face to face, swap stories, and then like get some of your research buddies to go out and go hunting with.
You know me, if I'm not working, I'm game.
Yeah, I know, right? Me too. Okay, well, I'm gonna definitely be making a trip up there to go to Chickamauga. Now I was mentioning that there are a lot of phantom noises out there. You've had your own experiences. When I was down at Pickett's Mill Battlefield in Georgia, I mean, that's in Georgia too, but I mean like down in my part of where I live.
Yeah, that's down in your area.
Yeah, it's like near, I think it's maybe Paulding County or Ackworth. I don't remember. But there's a place called Pickett's Mill Battlefield. There was a big battle fought there. And I took my son there. Speaking of my son, took him there when he was little to a ghost tour. It was like a storytelling ghost tour late at night. And we went, it was a little scary for a kid. I thought it was for kids. It was really for adults, apparently. I didn't know. It's for kids too, older kids. I had to make them tough though. Yeah, I had to make them tough early. I wasn't the cryptid hunters back then. Okay. But I was hunting cryptids. So but we went, and as we were walking to the car, after we got done, we were the last group to go through there that night. And as we were walking back to the car, cannons started firing in the battlefield.
That happens up here too.
But there were no cannons firing that night. But we heard it.
Well, up here you can hear the cannons, and you can even hear the musket fire. And I can tell you, old musket sound compared to modern day. They don't sound the same if you've been to reenactments.
Yeah, right.
You can definitely tell the difference.
Yeah, you can. You can tell the difference, and it was weird because nobody else was reacting to it. It was almost like my son and I were the only ones that were hearing it.
Well, you and him are more psychically sensitive,
Mm-hmm.
and he gets it from you.
I guess so.
A lot of people who research that believe that's genetics that pass that from parent to child, parent to child.
I think so too. You know, and another interesting thing is that my uncle is retired from the Army. He was like Command Sergeant Major, 82nd Airborne. You know,
Tell him I said this.
I'll tell him. I'll let him know. Maybe he watches my show. I doubt he does, but he's kind of like a closeted paranormal person. You know, like he's really interested in it. And he was up at Gettysburg last year. He went up to Gettysburg to go visit. You know, we have I have great grandparents who all my great grandfathers fought in the Civil War. All of them on both sides. And two of them, I think two of my great grandfathers lost their legs, I think, at some point. And some were like prisoners of war. Okay. They all fought for the South. And they ended up, some of them had to fight for the North at some point. Some of them were actually attempted to be cannibalized in the POW camp. It was bad. Okay.
You mentioned cannibalism. There's actually a story about a woman who did that here in the Civil War, and her spirit's supposed to haunt that battlefield up here. They call her the Witch of the Woods.
Oh my gosh. Well, I have to look into that too. Man. Okay. Well, they were okay. So my uncle visits different battlefields and stuff, and he was up at Gettysburg, and he took a cup of coffee to leave out for an offering, kind of. When he went up there, he heard that it's a good idea if you go to the certain bridge that's haunted, that you go and you put your coffee there. Mm-hmm. And he went and put his coffee there, and he sent me this picture, and he was like, Jessica, there was nobody else there. It was just me and, you know, a couple of other people. He said, in this picture, there's clearly a man walking through the picture right in front of them where that coffee cup was.
Oh, wow.
I thought he was trying to trick me. Okay. I thought he was playing because it looked like a human man. I thought it was him. And he was like, no, that wasn't me. He was like, that was nobody. He said it was like a ghost, basically, that showed up in their picture. And he was dead serious, shall I say.
You love your puns, don't you?
Right?
Well, you know, that is the only form of comedy on the planet, is puns.
Yeah, right. He was dead serious. And so, you know, and a lot of times if you do go to look up ghosts of battlefields, Gettysburg comes up a lot, and you can see it's almost like these soldiers don't know that they're dead. Some of them.
Their spirit just keep trapped reenacting the battle.
Yeah. You can find all sorts of pictures of soldiers near in these battlefields. You know, I live not too far from Kennesaw Battlefield in Kennesaw, Georgia.
Hauntings.
Mm-hmm. Very haunted. They're very haunted. Lots of apparitions, and that's what came up in my remote viewing data for Old Green Eyes was an apparition, but also a it was body parts trafficking. And
that can be translated to a lot of different things.
I know, right? Hold on, let me see if I can get some key terms. I've got my data right here, I think. Let me go through some of the terms. Okay, I did this show. This was back in 2023, last year in March, is when I did this remote viewing. Okay, I wrote down, Hill is in there. So it's called Snodgrass Hill, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, so Hill's in my data. I was seeing I wrote down ghost, and I wrote down Bigfoot-like creature. So it was something that looked like a Bigfoot, but it was like an apparition too. I wrote alternate dimension, eye shine, portals, moving between portals, body parts. I actually wrote trafficking trade, dead bodies. I've seen like a bucket full of like arms and legs and stuff in it. It was really gross. It was like amputated body parts, and I got cannibal. Like I got like data that involved cannibals.
That's the Witch of the Woods.
But but see, a cannibal, and to me that would be like a human eating a human, right? Mm-hmm. So
the Witch of the Woods. Let me explain her real quick since I brought her up.
Yeah, please do.
Okay, during the battle, during the winter especially, things got real bad for people trying to live off the land. Yeah. So she started inviting soldiers from each side in, stay in her hut with them. You know, they gave them a meal, but then she'd kill them and eat them. then they use their meat to serve the next group. Also,
Ew. She was barbecuing up the soldiers?
Mhm.
Oh, geez. Okay, that would be a really dark place to go do investigations. I don't know if I want to do that.
hey, if you
That's
do,
horrible.
you know which crazy guy to call.
No, right?
My wife,
That's so wrong.
because now also you mentioned all the Bigfoot stuff up here in this area. Let me start. Oh, if you mind, if I can trail off a bit onto that too.
I would love that. Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, Pigeon Mountain it used to be a volcano. I talk all about Pigeon Mountain on my YouTube, and it actually connects to Lookout Mountain, forming a kind of a V shape. But that's actually where I found my very first Bigfoot print that I sent you a picture of.
Okay, let me find it.
Yeah. But,
Let's pull it up. You're talking about the footprint?
yes.
Okay.
What y'all seeing here in blue, that is my footprint. I wore a size 9 in combat boots. Look at the print next to it now. I couldn't get a casting of it because that's water in there. It's so close to this little spring. I tried to dry out water to seep in through the bottom still. But where it stepped, and then we think we found another print inside the spring, but we couldn't really tell, because it's water moving.
Oh, that's a big old print right there. That'd be like, if you're at size 9, that'd be like a 17 or so, I would think.
Mm-hmm.
Something like that. 17-inch. Okay, is what I mean.
Yeah, and you're right. The South won that battle here in Chickamauga.
Yeah, on another timeline. I've heard that too, Jim. I've heard that too. Actually, Jimmy Payne said that when I was on a show with him on Super Soldier Talk. They talked about how like we've shifted timelines, or like the timelines have changed. But in one timeline, the Civil War actually, the South actually won the Civil War. Okay, so that's a theory.
Timeline from what we know.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. That's
parallel
theory.
Yes, there's a lot of wonky stuff going on in this world.
But now up there is where I've been doing most of my research for Bigfoot here lately, and I'll go ahead and tell you, I think I'm dealing with something similar to the Sukaloo. If y'all watch Mountain Monsters, they call it the Cherokee Devil. I'll talk more about that on my show because I'm still working on that current video.
Ooh. But, what? Wait. First of all, wait. Okay, so don't talk about your experience, because I know you want to do a show on your channel about that. Can you just explain to the audience what the Cherokee Devil is?
It is a Bigfoot type creature. It's known for its red eyes. Also, it also has mental powers. It can take over a person's mind and have it do its will, or lure to take them away. People actually in parts of I think it was it's Asheville, Ashe County, North Carolina.
Okay.
It went missing after encountering this thing in its physical form, because it has multiple. It has a physical form and a ethereal form.
Well, I think that could be similar to like Old Green Eyes. I think Old Green Eyes could be a shapeshifter.
Like I said, I think he's a skin lord. There's so many different varied descriptions of him. But let's just say, either way, these are not good creatures to be around, especially around people.
No. Oh, the Cherokee Devil. Okay, so let me know when that comes out. Okay, because I'll promote that show for you. We got to hear that one.
I definitely will.
Okay.
I'll send you a link as soon as the video's up.
Okay. Yes, please. Like, I know we're all looking forward to that one. I've not covered the Cherokee Devil before. I have kind of heard about it, but I don't know a lot about it.
Well, its original name is called the Sukaloo.
Oh, I know Sukaloo now.
Same thing. Same thing.
I know Sukaloo. I know him well. Okay. Sorry, I do know what you're talking about then, because that's actually Judaculla. Right? Okay. Yes. Okay, so I've actually been to Judaculla Rock. In Judaculla, I went with Chief David and Will and some other guys from the Cherokee Nation. And Chief David's a medicine man from up there. That was probably like 10, 11, 12 years ago. And camped out up there. And I've actually done some remote viewing on Judaculla Rock too and stuff. So, man, we should, I got it. Okay, so I know who Sukaloo is. He was actually, some people think he was a giant Sasquatch.
Yes.
Right. Okay. He stayed at Judaculla Rock. He actually had a throne there. And you could see it to this day. It's in a cow pasture right across from where the rock is.
And that crazy handprint.
Yes, yeah, on that rock. And the Judicola rock is a rock of we don't know how old it is, but it has a bunch of petroglyphs on it. And I believe she
from
did.
the Cherokee petroglyphs.
Yeah, it's like from the Star People or something. It's not from this. I think that they're telling the story. It's almost like Star Wars or something. It's like the creation from the
stars.
star.
Makes me think of another myth from Cherokee legend called the Moon-Eyed Beings. The Moon-Eyed People.
Oh yeah, I've covered that too recently.
I know.
Yeah,
I listened to your show before we met.
yeah. I covered the Moon-Eyed People. That was they were actually here before the Cherokee lived here.
Yeah,
they say the Cherokee ran them off. Actually, from what I understand. Yeah. Wow, that's so wild.
About that so far, I'm running with. What if the Moon-Eyed People were a Sasquatch, and they were forced back into deeper woods, and now they're mad?
I don't know. They say that they were like Caucasian, like white, like super pale skin with like blue eyes, green eyes.
Well, you're dealing with the paranormal aspect. I'm dealing with the science aspect here. Why have they evolved more to survive in the deep woods, developing the fur?
Man, there's no telling. It's so wild. There's so many different things, and then we throw in the shapeshifter aspect and the spiritual aspect and the S Walker aspect. There's no telling. But I wanted to thank Larry Sharp. Thank you, Larry. He gifted some more. You've gifted memberships before. Thank you, Larry. He gifted 5 Cryptid Huntress memberships. So thank you so much. That's amazing. And also, Kent, that is so sweet too. Thank you for that super sticker. Kent says, you have an awesome channel, Jessica. Keep up the great work. I love your channel. Thank you. Appreciate that. I'm just over here having fun, Greg.
Oh, I'm doing.
All right. We're just over here having fun, man. And it's just really fantastic hearing from you, Greg, who's boots on the ground up there in Northwest Georgia. I mean, I have a lot of other friends, and some of the people that were there at that Sasquatch, not Sasquatch, the Squatch Out. I can't say it. The Squatch Out that we were at actually talked about wanting to go back up there to that area. I was talking with is it Mark Green? I think Mark was talking about him and his wife were talking about going back up there near Cloudland or somewhere. Maybe it was.
Well, actually, a couple of people who were at the festival, Mr. and Mrs. Spoon, were camped like right beside you and me. They actually were at the festival, and so was David.
Okay, was it Tim and his wife or his girlfriend? I thought his wife or not.
Yeah, they came up, and I took them to where I had all my activity here recently at a place called the Blue Hole, which is part of Pigeon Mountain.
Pigeon Mountain, that's it. Okay, so Pigeon Mountain, I keep hearing so much about Pigeon Mountain too. So, yeah, I'm definitely planning to come up there.
70 of Bigfoot up there, and there's one old sighting on Lookout Mountain that goes back to the 1800s. But the thing they described in that one is a Bigfoot-like creature that carried a long pole like a cane. That's not Sukaloo. That's the Stone Man.
The Stonecoat Giant? Are you talking about the Stonecoat Giant?
No. This is
something different.
Yeah, it's a little bit like Spearfinger. It fed on livers of its victims.
Oh my God! Well, she was the Stonecoat Witch, I think.
Yes.
Yeah,
they were kind of related somehow, like either lovers, enemies, or siblings, or something like that. And it varies for each person you hear it from.
Have you ever encountered Spearfinger?
Not yet.
Oh my God, I think I have.
Want to go after her. I
think I have.
Whoa, really? I got to hear this story then.
Yeah. No, I mean, there's just been at least 2 times where it's almost like I felt her presence, and we've had some of my team has actually had what they believe was an encounter. They were actually kind of like remote viewing it as something was happening in live time, and I do think that Spearfinger was a part of that. Now, was she in this dimension? I don't know. Okay, it's one of those things where like we're not just dealing with 3D beings out here; we're dealing on an ethereal level. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's spiritual too. It's not just physical, it's spiritual too out there.
Yeah, well, one of my favorite sayings is from an old movie when it comes to this: if it bleeds and it's dangerous, we can kill it.
Oh my God. Well, yeah, it gives you a little bit of comfort knowing that you can protect yourself against something like that. But when it comes to like Spearfinger, she's a shape shifting witch.
Yeah, but
And
she had one tail. If you go by the old stories.
She has a tail?
No, like actual. She has a way you can tell it's her.
Oh, how can you tell it's her?
She always. Well, let me get my blanket here and show. She always kept her right hand shrouded like this because that's one thing she couldn't hide. That's long spear finger on her hand and her heart, which is right here according to the mythology.
Yeah. Yeah, she held her heart in her hand, and the tale goes that actually they set her up to attack her one day. They were gonna they were gonna kind of lure her out because she'd been taking all the children. Like
yeah,
she
that was the
kidnapping
livers of the children.
She preferred eating the livers of children, and so they actually kind of they set up like a sneak attack on her.
They had two animals. I can't pronounce them correctly the way they pronounced them in the story, but one was telling them to go for the heart. So they thought, okay, the heart right here. No. And the other creature came around and said, no, her hand, her right hand.
Yeah, a bird landed on her hand, like a chickadee.
Yes.
Landed on her hand, and it showed the warrior where to shoot his arrow right there.
And it weakened her. But where it goes, you can still hear her screams throughout the Smoky Mountains because that was part of the area where she hunted.
Oh my God. Okay. Well, let's talk about something else in the Smoky Mountains because you're right there at the Smoky Mountains. What about feral people? Have you ever come across feral people out there, or do you hear stories about them?
All I've heard is while researching her on television, from actually Expedition X. First of all, love that show. Love Josh Gates. He's funny. But I have not actually gone up to that part of the Smokies to research them yet and go after them yet. I'd love to because feral people, we know that's something physical. We know that's something I can track.
Oh yeah, you could track. Well, you could track them.
Yeah.
They're actually suspected of kidnapping people.
That little boy from the
Dennis Martin.
Yeah.
Dennis. Okay. We also have. Do you ever worry? And I know we talked earlier about how you like diffuse bombs and stuff. Okay, for a living, and so you have nerves of steel. But are you ever concerned? And thank you, Maureen, for that super sticker, by the way. Sorry. Thank you. That's so sweet of you. You and Gus, thank you. Have you ever worried about the missing persons clusters? Okay.
Yes, I have. Because yes, I have. Because I noticed a pattern actually in the Smokies. Specifically to the area where Spearfinger was most known for. If you look at the missing persons in that area, it's kids.
Kids?
What was her favorite food?
You said kids? Mm-hmm. Oh no.
That's why I believe that their attempt failed. She just got better at hiding.
Oh, Spearfinger? Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh.
Still around. That's my personal opinion. He just got better at hiding.
Oh my gosh. Maybe so. She shapeshifted. She's a shapeshifter, so she could be anything.
Forever, she has to change back to her original form at some point.
Yeah. Andrew just said, "Don't go trick or treating at Spearfinger's house. She will have you as a snack." Okay, she's gonna eat you for Halloween.
I like that guy's sense of humor.
Yeah. You have to be careful. She will take her. She has a long spear on her index finger, where she will.
There was no signs of a wound on any of the people who were supposedly her victims. So according to the old legends, there was no wound, no sign.
Oh my gosh!
So that makes it even creepier.
Okay, Greg, this is one of my teammates right here. This is Susan. What's up, Susan? Thank you for the super sticker. Hey, Susan. She has nerves of steel too. She has been accosted by Bigfoots when we're out in the woods together. She's woken up in her tent and had some Bigfoot activity before, and seen one right outside her tent. I mean, it's just wild. Susan is a Bigfoot magnet. Okay. And some people are Bigfoot magnets. Now, do you think that you could be a Bigfoot magnet?
No, my wife on hand probably.
Okay.
Because every
I
time
was
I take
wondering.
her out with me to a known area, they go after her. And I'm super protective, so that just tends to make me angry at these those particular creatures in that area.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Some people say that you become marked. If you have one Bigfoot experience, you become marked. What do you think about that?
Actually, about that, see, here, earlier this year, I met with a guy who had been doing Bigfoot research in this area decades before I ever showed up. And he noticed this thing on the back of my truck where it was like someone put his finger in the mud and made a mark on my truck. He said that's where the Bigfoots had marked my truck. They know my vehicle. So, yeah, marking is possible, I believe.
Ooh, yeah. Well, they can physically put fingerprints and stuff on your vehicle. Now, we did meet David with Bigfoot Forensics at the Squatch Out too.
Yes.
I will have him on the show here pretty soon.
Awesome.
And
Hey, let me know when that was coming up because I want to watch that one.
I will. Well, we got to set a date. We hadn't done that yet, but I have been in contact with him. And he actually said that if we have anyone we know anybody that has like a handprint or fingerprints, anything that has to do with Bigfoot, a suspected Bigfoot print or any kind of cryptid print, to send it to him. He'll analyze it.
Before I met him, so I already got that thing off my truck.
Yeah, well, I my friend Adolph is in the chat here, and he's been on the show before. He had a pretty intense encounter out in the Sierra Mountains in California back 22 years ago.
Man.
Yeah, 22 years ago, there was Bigfoot involved and aliens, I think. Definitely aliens, maybe Bigfoot. But the next day after they had this potential alien abduction happen, there was this handprint on his truck. And it looked like nothing I'd ever seen. I actually showed that handprint to David, and he was like, whoa, he'd never seen anything like it.
He actually helped me out with some strange prints a friend of mine found in the battlefield.
Yeah.
For now, it just been the crazy horse hooves prints, but it was still something that I had never seen that style of print. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It just got the most of the horse slid and the way the horseshoe landed made it look creepy.
Oh my gosh. That's wild. That's wild.
And it turned out to be a horse prints, but still, it's something. It proves I'm actually trying to find out what stuff is.
Yeah. Well, you got to do that when you're doing tracking out there. It's
yeah.
important that we know all the different animal prints that we can. I've even given a couple of quick little tutorials here on my channel back in the day of canine versus feline tracks.
Oh, simple way to tell. Canines keep their claws out. Cats keep them attracted when they're walking.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, because a lot of people, I think, mistaken, we talk about Dogman a lot, and we have a lot of cats out here too. Okay. When people get attacked by something, and a lot of people, especially in the Dogman community, like go straight to like, oh, that could have been a Dogman attack. And it very well could have been a Dogman attack.
Could have been.
Could have been cat attack too. Okay. And any kind of sleeping tracker would know. Any kind of tracker would know if they saw the prints around the body.
Yeah, but my rule of thumb is try to disprove it before you claim it's something cryptid related. Try to logically explain it every way possible before you say, okay, that's weird.
Right. Exactly. That's what I say too. Now, I don't know if this is near North Georgia, but are you familiar with Camp Merrill? Do you know where that is?
Camp Merrill, I can't say I do.
Okay, because Steve was asking if we ever heard of an experience with any high strangeness around the Camp Merrill area, but I don't know where that is. So I'm sorry.
I want to look it up.
Yeah. I've not heard of that. So
Camp Merrill. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I'll look that up now.
Okay. Well, oh my gosh. Let's see. What were we just talking about? I had something else to say, and then I got sidetracked because I'm reading all the comments over here. Shapeshifters give me the creeps too, okay? Because you just never know. We've been talking a lot about like mimics and.
Mm-hmm. Oh, we've had that happen here too.
You have?
Oh, okay. Okay. My wife just I swear she's a magnet for the weird stuff. And which helps me out my show, so.
Okay.
But I'll be here in my room. She's in there taking her shower, and she'll hear my voice coming from the window of the daggum bathroom. Now that bathroom is so high up, that window you have to have a ladder, like a 10-foot ladder, just to get to it.
Oh my gosh.
Well, I mean, it's to the point where I'll grab a firearm and I'll go searching around the property to see if anyone's messing around outside.
Oh, I heard my own voice out in the woods one time.
Okay, at that point, I'd be like, what?
Yeah, it wasn't. I didn't realize it was my voice for a while, though. It took a couple of weeks at least to figure out that was my voice. I just heard a woman's voice say "time travel."
Now,
Really loud.
ask yourself, since you're more in tune with the woo factor of this,
The
is that
woo.
the future, or is that you from another timeline trying to talk to you?
So I think that we're living in the past, the present, and the future right now. So I don't know. Maybe I'm okay. So there's a couple things. Either I'm a time traveler. I got my hands on some time travel, technology at some point, and I traveled back. But even at that point, I don't think I'd go to that location to go hide in a place that's full of snakes and stuff in the middle of the night to go yell my name, to go yell that. I just don't think that. I yelled time travel. Or it could have been me remote viewing myself. Okay, because I was with one of my friends who passed away recently, a couple of years ago. Who that was the last time I went into the woods with him, and we had a really special time out there with our team. And I could have been like remote viewing that because it happened then. Well, now it's like, well, in the future, hopefully I'll get that as like some kind of a target where I can remote view it, and I'm going to say that to myself when I remote view it in the past.
Yeah.
I know that sounds weird.
Again, you do with the woo factor. Just let me do the physical combat.
Right. I know it sounds really weird when I start talking about it.
It's great when it deals with the woo factor. I fact that is a huge part of our world. But I do not have that ability. You do.
Yeah.
I mean, I get these strange, but that's, to me, it's just battle instinct, in my opinion, which is similar. It's right there, borderline, starting to go pick to the woo factor. But
yeah, we do.
I call it battle instinct when I know I'm being watched in the woods.
Yes. Oh, Moondog has a good point here. It's true. Natives don't like you to mention any of these things. It brings them in and it gets their attention. Okay, so I'm really careful about not saying the S Walker word. You know what I'm talking about?
Yep.
More than a couple of times. Like I say it once now, if I say it at all, and then I try not to say it anymore. How do you feel about that? Like I don't go out in the woods trying to like saying the S Walker and the W and all, like I'm gonna say Wendigo one time. There's certain things like I don't say. Like my son was out there camping with us a couple of weeks ago, and he threw out one of those words in the middle of the night while we're walking down a trail. And I almost had a heart attack. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, you keep your mouth shut, child.
Hey, shut that up.
Yeah, I was really, I got upset about it because that's when the panic kind of, sets in when you're out in the woods and you're surrounded by wilderness. And
that's our world.
That word comes out. Like, that's just a no-no. Okay. What do you feel? How do you feel about that?
Well, according to mythology, the only way to kill a skill marker is to catch it in its truest form.
Okay.
So, get it to its true form, take it out.
What's its true form? Is that human or
varies from creature to creature? From S Walker to S Walker.
Okay.
It varies.
Okay. Well, that's if you have to take it out, you have to take it out. Okay, I understand. That's for entertainment purposes only, y'all. Okay.
Yeah. Hey, don't go by me. I'm the crazy one. I'm
all crazy.
Combat with these things. Have to.
We're all crazy. Well, this is stuff we kind of have to think about when you're out there. Because what if you do encounter something like that? But we don't get its attention.
Form and then try to take it down because these S walkers are dangerous to people. And my point is, if we're investigating cryptid and it's not a threat to humans, leave it be. If it is a known threat to humans, try to do something about it if you have the equipment and know how to do it.
Yes. Yeah. Right. Okay. Kent says, I do believe that these cryptids can sense a lot. One guy that had to run 2 run-ins and unalive 2 dogmen, then had a third experience where an angelic being showed up and carved up the dogman. Oh my God, I never heard of that.
Wow.
That's wild. I mean, it's not out of the realm of possibility, man. I tell you what.
A buddy of mine, he heavy into the dogman research. He couldn't make the Squatch out this year. His name's Ken. I gotta get you two hooked up to do dogman talk one time. Y'all would be on here for hours. But they're
Okay. Well, I need to talk with him. Okay. Oh yeah.
Moondog Davis.
You saw a redheaded giant?
Up where? At my neck of the woods?
Oh, I don't know. Okay, that's wild. Now,
I hope you respond to that one, because I want to know if that's in my neck of the woods, because...
oh, maybe... It might have been the Sierras, because they also wrote the Sierras are loaded with cryptids right after that. Yeah. So it could be the Sierra Mountains.
The heavy mountain areas that has the most cryptid activity.
Oh, Steve. Okay, Steve said that Camp Merrill is near Dahlonega. That's
closer to you.
That's close. Well, that's close to me. It's not too far. Dahlonega is like Unicoi Park, I think, is in Dahlonega near there. Unicoi State Park has Bigfoots.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
So, we have up here in northeastern Georgia, the Guide Wilderness. It's loaded with them too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Actually, Dahlonega and Helen, Georgia. Okay, I think it's Helen. Dahlonega. Dahlonega is not far from where like Bill Elliott's from. Y'all know Bill Elliott with NASCAR. Okay, he and my dad were friends. Okay.
Actually, you mentioned Helen, Georgia. That's where I had my first Class A sighting.
Really? Where at?
They've asked me not to disclose the location.
Okay. I don't mean the exact location. Did you say it was Dahlonega?
No, that area? Helen. I'll say that much.
Oh, in Helen. Okay.
What happened was me and my wife we were still just dating at the time. We weren't even engaged yet. We were camping out. It was in February. It was a big mistake because my tent ended up looking like an igloo within an hour. I couldn't get the fire going because the snow was so heavy.
Snow?
Yeah, it snowed on us bad. Like that thick on my tent. My tent started leaning from the daggum snow weight.
Oh my god. My team goes out and does tracking practice in the snow like that. Okay, so I did not make it that weekend. I was busy.
Yeah.
But my team goes out and does stuff like that when it's cold sometimes, like snowing.
In my head, I'm thinking, okay, people tell stories of creatures and stuff, generational from family, elders to younger ones. What if Bigfoot did the same thing with humans? So I played old Cherokee flute music, and the next morning, someone was watching me cook breakfast for me and Kelsey, and she spotted it, and her jaw went, huh? I mean, almost like a cartoon dropped.
Oh my God.
Is that what we're up here looking for? I look up and, yeah, that's one of them. And I'm in such shock because it's my first time seeing a Bigfoot in person. I invite it down for a plate, and it's responded by grunting and shaking its head no at me.
Oh my God! But you were offering it food. It wasn't.
It was. My theory was it was there guarding younger ones.
Yeah.
So it was not going to leave that guard post and leave these younger ones.
Wow, that's awesome. That's really awesome. Yeah, and it's wild because there's a lot of bears up there too, right? And
we got black bear. I can go up just a little bit up the mountain by a couple of minutes, and I'll find black bear sign. We've had black bear in my neighbor's cow pasture across the road.
Really? Yeah, there's a lot of bears up in that area, up in Helen and Dahlonega, all up in North Georgia mountains. You got to be careful. Not really. A lot of the places where we go Bigfooting, there's not a ton of bears at the camps that we get to.
Bigfoot's I'll camp right in the bear's heart, the territory.
Yeah. Well, the
black bear are not that aggressive. That's one thing that always bugged me about people thinking bears are these mean, evil. No, black bears, you can literally have them walk right by you. If you don't bother them and don't bother their young, they'll just keep on going as long as you keep a distance.
Yeah. Well, okay, so people have historically probably mistaken Bigfoots for bears too, like thinking that they're actually looking at a Bigfoot, but they think it's a bear, right? Because there's a lot of
too. Because a bear walks, let's say the bear paw, right, and then there's the front paw and the back paw come in right about here. You see how that can almost form a foot? Look.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Well, there's a lot of stories of like children that have gotten lost in the woods. And they disappear, they're lost, and they whenever they're found, and the ones that do get found have had stories. I mean, there's one kid that was in North Carolina a few years ago. When they get found, they say, well, a bear took care of me the entire time I was gone. A bear. Now, Greg, I don't believe those were bears. I think they got taken care of by A
Sasquatch,
Bigfoot.
Bigfoot, yes.
Yeah. Because
Uh,
a bear would have eaten them, probably.
Not necessarily.
No? Tell
Here's
me.
what I say that. I'm going to use a reference of a. Everyone knows who Coco the gorilla is, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember. With the
Okay.
sign language, right?
Yeah, but also at one point she got real bad depressed, and they called and Robin Williams, and he got her to cheer up. But when Robin Williams unfortunately passed away, she mourned. You can hear her crying. There's video of it. I don't think animals are as as brainless as we keep making them out to be. I think they're just as intelligent and adept as us with some of these animals.
Oh my gosh.
And I think a bear, I mean, they're just as intelligent.
Yes, they're very intelligent. Yeah. All these
No.
we don't give these animals enough credit, do we?
No, we don't.
Yeah.
So I can actually picture a bear possibly taking care of a child, keeping it warm with its own body, and then it hears humans coming, and they'll run off, and then the kid will start making noise, and then the humans find it. It's
Oh my
plausible.
God.
It is plausible.
Yes. Yeah, for sure. I don't know. That's pretty awesome. I mean, I think that Bigfoots get away with like not being seen because people do confuse them for bears.
Yes.
And I love that for the Bigfoots.
Yeah,
They camouflage well.
also will say they can do the cloaking, kind of like the daggone predator from the old movies.
Well, then we go down the cloaking route. What do you think about cloaking? Do you believe they can do that?
I'm not gonna form an opinion on that yet. It's one of those things I'd have to see it happen right in front of me.
Yeah.
And then, but now, possible explanation for that could be like a polar bear, for example. Everyone thinks it has white fur. No, it has clear fur. The skin is white. What we're seeing when we see a white polar bear is we're actually seeing its skin through its translucent fur. What if Bigfoot the same way? And they just move around with the wind right enough, and boom, they can look invisible.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Totally. And I'm reading this comment right now too. I'm sorry, I got a little sidetracked right here because I was Sovereign Cosmic Wildman. I think we're going back to that alien handprint that Adolf had on his Forerunner. Okay, he had a truck. He's in a documentary. His documentary is called 10-11-02. And you guys please check that out. It's a great documentary. He's a cryptid field researcher. He's had run-ins with like Dogman and Bigfoots and all that. He was in the chat earlier. He may still be here. Sovereign says not only do the Zeta Reticuli aliens leave handprints in the Sierras, they also try to break into vehicles.
I've heard about that.
Have you come across any aliens? ETs?
Yeah. I'm not at liberty to discuss much of that stuff.
Okay, never mind. We won't ask about that then. Okay. We won't ask about that. I have. And in my Bigfoot field research experience, Bigfoots and ETs go hand in hand in my life.
Yeah, a few of my other friends point out if the Bigfoot sightings in graveyards, actually, if you like an old abandoned graveyard, have a lot in common too.
Ooh, yes. Yeah. Okay. So Bigfoots and Dogmen have a connection to graveyards and to the what I've always considered to be what we call Indian burial mounds. Okay, the earthen mounds. I did talk about that on whatever day it was. I had my last show Thursday. Yes, Thursday or Wednesday.
I haven't caught up to the current stuff yet, so I'm still trying to catch up.
Oh my God, I can't keep up with my own shows. Okay, I can't keep up with myself. I can't. I have so many. Like I do 4 live shows a week just on my channel, and then I do other people's shows too.
Yeah.
And so I'm always busy. But I'm
actually wanting to try to get you on my show to explain the more of the woo factor because you got more experience than I do.
Oh yeah, I'd love to. Yeah, it's just I've got so much information that I want to put out to the public that I'm just like it's like an overload. Okay, it's like I'm overloading my audience. I feel like
I'm not quite
but
that
it's a good thing.
I've not quite got that many followers yet.
It's just I have a lot to talk about, and so but I did talk about those the Dogmen and the cryptids being spotted around all of these burial mounds or these earthen mounds, and my goodness, there's a lot of earthen mounds up there where you live.
Oh yeah, in fact, I've been told numerous times about a lost abandoned graveyard. Headstone's still there up on Pitch Mountain. I've not found it yet. Yeah. I want to find that because I think that might be part of the clues I need to find out what's going on that mountain.
Okay. Well, there's a lot of stuff going on inside these mountains too, and we won't get into that, okay? Because there's like deep underground military bases allegedly and stuff like that. So,
They said that about Pigeon too.
okay. Well, I've actually was shown when I was up near Cashers, North Carolina,
Oh,
and I was up there near Judicola, actually, like Judicola Rock, where Sukalu is known to live.
yeah.
I was shown the entrance of what, well, this is alleged. Let's say alleged.
Yeah.
Entrance to an underground, deep underground military base in the side of the mountain there.
Yeah, I'm the crazy guy who would go, let's go check it out. And I'll try to get it in.
Yes. We checked it out, but it was actually on the way to Judicola from where we were staying. We were camping out. It was right there. And that's where they have like the sky ships over Cashers too, out there. And
big, giant UFO sky ship?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. I saw those too. They were there. I saw all of it while I was out there. And so, yeah, Chief David was calling them in with his crystal wand and stuff. It was wild. Like, I was like, what is going on here? There's so much activity out there.
I want to meet this dead guy if I ever get a chance now.
I know. I need to hit him up. I hadn't talked to him in like 10 years. It's been a while.
Wow.
But he packed a punch in my life. I tell you what, a lot of great data, a lot of good information coming from him. And so, yeah, it's important, that we, like I said, that I have a lot of information to get out to the public and stuff. And like the things that I know, there are other people who've done that for me. And so like, I want to pass whatever I know on. I don't know a whole lot, but I have had a lot of experience out in the field, just like you have. And so I can appreciate your channel, Greg, and Backwoods Cryptids, man. I love that. I love it when I read your bio at the beginning of the show, it said that you're a backwoods son of a bitch.
Yes, I am.
I love that. So you've been out in the woods, like you've been doing this pretty much your whole life, like outdoors stuff and hunting, and
pretty much.
Is that your background?
Pretty much. I woodsman background with my great grandparents, my great great. My dad was always a little worker, so my grandma and my great grandpa raised me, and my great grandma.
Oh yeah.
So from grandpa, I got fishing. From my uncles, I got hunting, and from my grandparents, I got a little bit of the foraging of wild animals.
Oh, love it. I love it. Oh, Edgar has a really cool comment here. It says Bigfoot are the mound builders. They're just coming back from the reset. The last reset.
All the mounds out throughout the country are actually not Bigfoot.
Really? I mean, there are giants buried in them.
Yeah, and if you look at a Sasquatch, the main description of them, they are gigantic compared to us.
They are gigantic. That's right. And it's interesting. I think that is something that we could take note of right here. Thank you, Edgar. I appreciate that.
I'm getting a round of applause for that one.
Hey, that's something to look into, actually. Yeah. Okay. Bigfoot were the mound builders. What if they were? I don't know. Maybe that would be a great removing part of it.
Look at history books, and we do not know who these mound builders were. They just call them the mound builders.
Yeah. I know, and I just covered that on that show. So, I was actually just making the comparison between the Dogman sightings, and I put up like maps of the North American Dogman Project. Shout out to Kenny, by the way. Kenny with Star Fox with the North American Dogman Project. I just recorded a show with him last night. Again, I do like a bi-weekly show with him for the North American Dogman Project. And we talked about this because I actually took some of their charts and I did side-by-side comparisons to the Dogman sightings map with each state, like Michigan and Ohio and Pennsylvania and Tennessee and Georgia and Alabama and Louisiana and all those states, Virginia, West Virginia, with the mounds and then the Dogman sightings. Okay, so and I think the Dogman sightings map probably would match up a little bit pretty well with the Bigfoot sightings map. Probably. I don't know.
If you hear about any Dogman sightings up in my neck of the woods up here, please let me know, because so far I've only found that one, and I'm wanting to start doing Dogman research along with the next year, along with other stuff.
Yeah, there have been Dogman reports around Corpsewood Manor. Okay, so we'll get the maps together. I'll actually get in touch with Kenny about that and ask him. He might be in the chat tonight. I don't know. I haven't seen him.
Roper? You talking about Kenny Roper?
No, Kenny Star Fox. He lives up in New England, and
Well, Ken Wilford's the guy I told you to talk
yeah.
about, Dogman.
Well, we need to. We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it, and maybe get us. I'll have to come up there. I'll bring my kid. We'll come up there sometime and do some green eyes hunting
Oh yeah.
and some dogman hunting. And we really don't even know what green eyes is still.
No
exactly.
one. There's theories ranging from a ghost of some type to a cryptid of some type. And I mean, literally, there are these two worlds of the paranormal clashing over what green eyes is because they want to claim it.
Well, I keep an open mind, Greg. I know you have a very open mind too, and I can appreciate that. And when it comes to these cryptids, we have to have an open mind because we really don't know what the heck we're dealing with.
Yeah, because think about it, I feel like you prove some animals we have today that are real. Platypus used to be a cryptid. Kangaroo used to be a cryptid. Gorillas used to be cryptid. Right. Megalodon used to be a cryptid. Most recent one was the giant squid. Used to be a cryptid, but now it's known to be true. And that was in my lifetime that we proved it was real.
Yeah, there's so many things. What is it, like the panda bear was a cryptid at one point?
Yeah.
All this stuff.
And people like you, me, boots on the ground, researchers who proved all this, then some jerk in a lab coat took credit.
Yeah, and what is that? What is that? Thylacine or something? There's like some kind of like Tasmanian devil or like the thylacine. That's actually a cryptid too, right?
Yeah.
But there's actual videos of them. They exist.
Yeah, the Tasmanian tiger.
Yeah. Yeah. Sovereign says that kangaroos are interdimensional. They may be. Okay, to me, kangaroos look like, they say, like deers that have been to prison.
Well, actually, here's the funny thing about him saying interdimensional.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to reference an old animated film called Titan AE. Are you familiar with this one?
No.
There's a creature on there who's trying to help us, rebuild our world. Looks like a kangaroo.
Okay.
But it's sentient, it's talking, it's using weapons.
Really?
Yeah. It's a great film, but...
What's it called?
Titan AE.
Titan AE. Okay, I'm going to look that one up. Titan AE.
The character is also like the lead weapons expert on the crew.
Okay. And it looks like a kangaroo?
Yes.
Cool. Okay.
It's built like a kangaroo's.
Oh my God. Okay. Yeah, kangaroos they're a strange animal, in my opinion, for sure. And honestly, so I was given this remote viewing target of, it turned out to be the Chupacabra. And I was getting
those two.
Yeah, I was getting like in my data, it was like, I don't remember if I put kangaroo, I put marsupial down, and I was like mammals, and I was getting reptiles, and it was like this big mix of like all these things. It turned out to be like, that's what the Chupacabra was. It was like some weird, wacky experiment.
Yeah. But I've actually had an experience with the investigating one down here before I actually started my channel, so I didn't record nothing. I just went and done it. Yes, Titan E. I'm responding to that comment there. But down in there's a little town called Villanelle. It's a heavily rural area, mostly a couple of farms and woods.
God.
And this chicken farmer had a bunch of chickens come up, blood drained. Dead, but there's no blood on the ground. In the bird itself, nothing. And I found this crazy footprint that looked like that big with 3 toes.
3 toes?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's a good question for you. What do you think of 3-toed prints? Do you think there's like Bigfoots out there that have 3 toes, or could it be reptilians, or what?
I'm not 100% sure yet. So far,
you have to see the print, right?
Yeah, I actually have to physically see the print or a picture of it, or actually see it. Then I could analyze it better. Because 3-toed prints, when we're talking Bigfoot, could be an inch of Bigfoot.
Yeah, it could be. I couldn't imagine a 3-toed Bigfoot, but
now if it's been an inch in or something, which happens in nature all the time.
Yeah, it does. Okay, I have a question for you. Okay, because I hate wrapping the show up tonight because I'm having fun talking to you, but I know I hate wrapping it up.
Is that time already?
Yeah. Well, we can keep going with the show if you want.
Keep going.
Okay, I didn't want to keep you here all night. Okay, but what is your wildest experience out in the field when you've been out there? Was it at Chickamauga? Was it looking for green eyes? Like what?
Mountain.
Mm-hmm.
I was with some friends and my wife, and they had brought one of those parabolic dishes, and we could hear roars and yells all around us. And then my crazy self went back the next weekend, and Kelsey stayed down in the truck because she wasn't feeling 100%. So I said, "Baby, just stay down here." She has a firearm of her own, so I knew she'd be okay. Because I made sure hers had armor-piercing rounds in it.
God, don't mess with y'all out there. I'm just saying, if you guys are out there doing some research, let everybody know where you're at so we don't come near. Okay.
Well, I only do that because that's my kryptonite.
I
Kelsey is my kryptonite. She gets in danger, I'll go home.
Hey, that's the way it should be too. Listen, we all need backup. That's for sure.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
I was out doing a live, and I did a tree knock at the top of the. We started at the blue hole, and there's a trail that goes up the mountain because the blue hole is right there at the base. I mean, literally right at the base of the mountain.
Yeah.
And now, for those who don't know, they say it's called the blue hole, but it's a little spring, mostly for little kids. Can go wade in the water, splash around, have fun. And you can't really get. Adult can't really get that deep in the water, you know what I'm saying? Unless they lay down. But and I was at the top of the mountain. I decided to do a tree knock. I found a good log, good limb, hit the tree 3 times, and this thing roared at me, and I could feel the breath on me. And about that time, I get a message from a buddy of mine that's because I'm doing a live stream, so she can't call me. We have a signal out there. And he goes, "Dude, you gotta get back down to the truck. There's got 2 of them near Kelsey." I don't think I've ran that fast in my whole life, not even in my military days. Now, bear in mind, this time I'm still fully tacked out. I got my tactical vest on, gun here, ammo here, carrying a rifle, my AR-10. And I am booking it down this mountain. I made it down there in like maybe a fourth of the time it took me to get up the mountain. I get down there, and she is aiming her firearm up and about to shoot out my windshield.
Oh God.
Yeah, because she had one in front between her and the blue hole itself, and she had another one over here on her side of the truck. They were trying to lure her out of the truck.
Oh no! Trying to lure her out.
Yeah, and me. I'm not gonna lie. When it comes to her, I got a hot head when it comes to being protected with her. I said to her, I literally yelled out to all of those Bigfoot out there, "You're messing with my wife. I'm taking you all out."
Oh my gosh. Yes, you got to be really careful. Like I've been surrounded more than once out in the field, and there's a point where I know I was with my buddy Robbie, Robbie Raines.
Yeah. Here's the thing about she just wanted me to remind you that she was having her monthly women's period.
Oh yeah.
And that's what we think drew them into her that time.
Oh my God. Remember, the land requires blood, right?
Mm.
Yeah. It's always about the blood, man. I'm just saying. I'm not trying to be gross, but it's true. And
first of all, anyone gets grossed out by people talking about PMS and periods.
Yeah.
Grow up. That's just part of how you work.
Oh yeah. We're all grown. Like half my chats probably works in the medical field too. So or something. Yeah. Yeah, it's but it is. It's like blood always comes up when it comes to cryptids and stuff too.
A lot of people theorize that the smell of the menstrual blood draws them in because that may make them a little in heat, make it their blood pumping, if you know what I mean.
Well, yeah, and I've actually been told that before too, to be very careful about going out in the field like that. You know, with women like that. I mean, I've even been told not to wear perfume out in the field ever, and I don't wear perfume or even any kind of lotions that have any kind of scent to them usually when I'm out in the field because the bugs.
Well, what I do is
the bugs.
Well, I do all my shampoos, my soap. It's all natural, no man-made chemicals. Even my cologne, it's all Dr. Squatch.
Squatch, Dr. Squatch.
Dr. Squatch, yes.
I mean, I am not sponsored by Dr. Squatch, but if they want to sponsor me, I'm open to it. Okay.
Likewise. Because I mean, I use the shampoo, the conditioner, the beard oil, and the deodorant, and the cologne.
Oh my gosh, my son has some. It doesn't make you smell squatchy, by the way. It actually smells pretty good.
That's the point. There's my deodorant.
Oh my gosh, we're not sponsored by
We're
that
not
company,
sponsored,
but
but I'm trying to say,
yeah,
the reason
we
I
like the
think,
name.
for me, the reason I think it don't affect them with me is because it's natural. It's used stuff that's in the environment already.
Oh yeah. Yes. Okay. Yeah. I've been told, actually, Jimmy Payne told me that when I was talking with him and James Rink over at Super Soldier Talk. He said, don't wear any perfume. He was like, when you're around Bigfoots, he said that they might attack me, you know, because Bigfoots have historically been known to kidnap women
Yes.
and take them off and
Again, that goes right back to
assault them.
who took a Cherokee woman as his bride.
Yeah, and some people say that was his girlfriend. She went willingly.
Yes.
Okay, and Sukalu would actually go. He was a fierce hunter, and would go hunt and bring deer to her mom.
Bring firewood, all that.
He's a big dude, man. He's a big dude.
Yeah. I mean, because he didn't bring logs. He brought trees.
Yeah, he didn't bring logs.
He brought the whole tree.
I'm sure the mom was like, "What am I going to do with this big tree? You need to go cut it up, man."
And then she got frustrated because her daughter's new man in her life didn't cut it up already. And that actually angered because, okay, I give y'all a gift to help y'all out, and y'all gonna knock it like that. That made Sukalu kind of mad.
Oh yeah. I mean, I think that a lot of stuff made him mad. He was just pissed off all the time. I don't know why. He's always trying to protect that rock, I guess. I don't know if he was like the protector of Judah or what.
I don't know what his story is. If I ever get a chance to, because we all know that he can mind speak, if you go by the old story, I want to have a conversation with this thing and say, dude, why are you so PO?
Yeah, why are you mad? Well, you let me know, okay? If you, yeah. Everybody's talking about soaps now. I like Dr. Bronner's too. That's good stuff if you're out in the field. It's kind of like you can wash your hair with it and your dishes. Okay. If you have to take your bath in a creek, that will do. Okay. Yeah. It will do. It covers your dishes and your body. All right. I know.
Well,
that's gross.
why if you're using the same soap on yourself and the dishes, it's good to take a cheese grater so you can grind it up to. You can also do your laundry that way.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. You can wash your laundry and everything with it. Okay. And hey, if they need to sponsor, if they would like for me to sponsor me, I'm open to that too. So if y'all know anybody, I'm just kidding.
I got you. She said, none of us are sponsored by these folks, but I highly praise them. They've actually done me a lot better than any of this man-made crap we have on the market today.
Oh my God. I'd be washing off in those creeks every time I went out if I got a sponsor for it, if they sponsored me. Whatever. Okay, but anyways, oh my gosh. Well, that's a wild encounter that you guys had, and with Kelsey being in the truck, pointing her gun, and y'all are on the ready. That's creepy. And I actually was up in North Georgia and had an incident where I got surrounded. The two different times where I got surrounded. I had my buddy with me, and we actually. We took the cues. Okay, like you take the cues when your body tells you get out of there. It's time to get out of there. Okay, and we did, and we were actually when we got back down to where our truck was, my truck. I knew that there was something down there by my truck. Like the Bigfoots had like surrounded us, and there was one down by my vehicle. But we were like a football field away from my vehicle. We were like 80 yards maybe, and so we just trucked it down to the truck. And when we looked up to where we had been standing, there were two gigantic hulking shadows standing right where he and I had been standing.
Yeah, my problem is, according to most of my sergeants, I don't have a flight response. I have a fight response.
You're a fighter.
I don't run from any danger. I'd always be the guy running toward it. My wife always jokes, if this is a horror movie, I'll be the first white dude to die in the horror movie.
Oh, man. I know. Well,
horror movies that always have that one guy who goes to check it out and always ends up dead.
Oh no!
She swears that's gonna be my wife over here. Swears that's gonna be me.
Oh my gosh! Well, we just felt like we needed to get out of there at that point, because it was not like an intense encounter where we felt like we were threatened, but we just didn't feel comfortable. We're like, all right, we know you're here. We're out of here. Thanks for showing yourselves. Yeah. We're out. That's all we wanted. Okay, we just wanted to let y'all know we're here, and y'all let us know y'all are here. At that point I'll be
putting up tents.
Yeah, right. Yeah, totally. Well, that's what we usually do. But I had a conference this weekend.
Doing this to me right now since I said that.
I know we all got to be a little bit crazy to do what we do, and because it's a lot of fun, and it's a little crazy too.
And I want to put a point. If it weren't for the world of cryptozoology, me and you would have never met. It's a great way to make friends, try to prove something exists that everyone else does not. But it's also the camaraderie you get.
That's right. We got some pretty cool folks in these communities, man. I know the online communities are fun, but meeting in person is way cooler sometimes. Just like getting to swap stories and stuff like that too. And yeah, it's fun. Listen, we can connect with way more people online though. Okay, and like put the word out. And I've interviewed people from all over the world. Okay, that have similar stories and different stories with all the different cryptids from all over the world, and there's nothing like it.
I mean, I got a buddy of mine out he lives in Ireland, and they have this thing up there called the Wolvers. It's kind of like the version of Dogman or Wolfman. Right. He goes out and hunts those things.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but he's not got a show or anything, or he talks about it. I just help him out with research, and he helps me when I'm in the field if I need some quick research on a piece of it.
Oh my God. Oh, Chicky Blue has a question. What do you do to scare a Sasquatch? Do you hit a pan like a bear? Like when a bear comes at you?
Me personally? They want to know what I do personally?
Yes. What do you do?
Boom!
You let it around off in the air?
Yeah.
There's your answer. There's your answer. You know what? It's if you get bluff charged, that's like what we call it. If you were to get like bluff charged, like a bear's coming at you, it's like bluff charging you. If a Bigfoot does it.
If it's bluff, okay, let's use the bear example.
Okay.
If a bear's charging at me, I will shoot toward the ground. Try to scare it. If it keeps charging, I will raise that weapon up and start going at it. I try to scare it away. I don't want to harm none of these creatures unless they have proven to be violent toward humans on a regular basis. Like with a bear, for example, it's protecting its young, or you stumbled onto its home.
Right. Yeah. Wrong time, wrong place, man. That sucks. It does suck.
Animals were here before people.
Exactly.
In science and in the Bible.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, I don't think a pan is going to work to try to scare off a Bigfoot.
No.
But,
because it's going to be curious what that noise is in its woods.
Yeah. I mean, my advice, if something were to like try to charge at you, really, I mean, I've never heard, me personally, I don't know anyone who I go and do research with they've been bluff charged before, but it didn't hurt them.
I want to comment on what Moondog here said. Big bore guns, I carry a 45 sidearm and I carry a 308 rifle. That will take care of it. Yeah, that's off alone would scare most creatures away.
Yeah. Yes. Well, and everybody has their different methods. Like not everybody carries weapons out in the field too.
True.
Most people I know do.
Firecrackers.
You shoot firecracker. Take a flare gun. Firecracker. Just anything. Anything. But
you get firecrackers year round at some of these fireworks stores. Just get one of those small chains, light it, throw it.
Yeah. Or what do you call those smoke bombs?
Yeah, but they don't want a big noise. It's mostly just visible. You want that, in my opinion, you want that noise.
Yes, yeah.
And now, unless you're putting firecrackers in the pot to where it makes it louder, I don't think a pot's going to work.
Yeah, it may not work. Eric, E.D. Testerman here. Hey, Eric, what's up? He says, best advice is to show no fear and be respectful. Perfect advice. That's what I say too. Show no fear, but it's kind of hard not to have any fear, like when something's charging at you, too. But if you can, right? Oh my gosh. But yeah, that's a big part of the cryptid research, though. Is like you really can't show fear.
No.
Okay. Because they can smell fear on you and they'll mess with you.
Even no animals can smell fear on people.
Yes. Yes, they can. Yeah. Oh my gosh, yes. Sovereign says, "Don't play them loud. Don't play loud music." He said, and Don says, "Flashbangs."
Those
Okay.
work too because they make a pretty loud pop.
Do what?
Flashbangs do make a loud pop.
They do. They do. Cryptids be breaking bones. Cryptids be like breaking their bones every night and day. Andrew says, "Okay." Oh my gosh. Bob says he carries a Walmart bag. That scares him away. I guess. Okay, and yes. All right, we've got everybody. Everybody's got their methods. Okay, I would not personally say I'd carry a Walmart bag, but it's funny. It's funny.
I think Walmart's a good bag if you're foraging. That's
Yeah, it is good. Yes, and if you want to pick up trash too, that's a good way to have an encounter with a Bigfoot. Is picking up trash.
On that, since you brought that up, I'm going to say this is a public service announcement. If you're out in the woods, leave no trash. Take your trash with you. If you see trash and you have a bag, pick it up. We have one world, and we got to take care of it.
That's right. We do. I love that. Oh my gosh. This is wonderful. This has been such a fantastic show. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much, Sarah.
I'm having a blast on here.
Me too.
My wife's getting ready. She's wanting to go. So.
Me too. Listen, I know it's Saturday night, and I've got a kid. I need to get to bed. So you know my son.
Yeah.
You know my kid.
Yeah. Oh, yes. I meant to ask on a side note. Did he? Y'all do that little Marine Corps thing for him? I sent you. Yeah.
Well, he's got it. Yeah. My son definitely wants to be a Marine. Okay, that's his thing. He's big time into the military, but yeah, he is I think he's a reincarnated Marine, like a warrior.
From my own personal seeing him, he acts like a Marine.
Yeah, he is. So thank you. Yeah, and he looks up to you too. He looks up to guys like you and to you, Greg. He loves you to death. So
well, I try to be a good woman. That's why on my show I tell kids not to smoke. So for all you youngins who may be watching this now or later, don't be like me. Say no to these.
Say no to what? Smoking? Oh, my son. My son was giving you a hard time about smoking. He just wants you to be healthy.
I know, but I've been smoking on and off over here talking. I have to get that public service announcement. And it's my own peace of mind. I know it's a bad example to show for kids, and I can't live my life if I don't say something, you know?
Yeah, it's all good. Listen, it's all good. We all got our vices in one way or another. Yeah. And he looks up to you big time. And he wants to do some Bigfooting with you guys too. So we'll
come up here sometime. I'll take y'all to Pigeon Mountain.
Okay.
There's campsites out there near Blue Hole.
It sounds wonderful. We'll do that. Okay. We'll definitely do it. Now I want you to tell the audience about your YouTube channel and any kind of information you want to put out today. I'll pull up your banner.
Well, I can be found mostly on YouTube. I have a small group page on Facebook as well. I have TikTok and Instagram. I just use the TikTok and the Instagram to advertise my YouTube. There's my contact info. You can find out on all that. I have a separate phone number thanks to Google Voice and a separate email set just so people can contact me. Almost forgot. Actually, the night of the ground, that's why I got contacted by somebody who had a Bigfoot messing on their chicken coop, and I only found it because of my YouTube. And it's right here in Chickamauga.
Oh, I want to hear about that.
Okay, well, I can't go into names or exact location because they want their privacy protected. They're a big person in the community. But if I hadn't been for Kelsey, I wouldn't have found the whole trail because Kelsey found the other track. And we traced the tracks all the way back to this dried up riverbank, that dried up creek bank that goes right next to their house.
Ooh, wow.
And then I got to look at their chicken coop where they saw how they came around. And you can see where something grabbed hold of the door for the chicken coop and ripped it off of the hinge.
Ooh, okay. That reminds me of the Elkins Creek Bigfoot and my friend Farrah's house where she had the Bigfoot or something came out of that cave and pulled her chickens out of her coop too. Yeah. So Bigfoots love chickens.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't even know if they're eating them.
Fuck up KFC and take it out there for an offering one day.
I have a friend who does that.
Does it work?
I have a friend who does that, who takes a rotisserie chicken.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Well, it depends on what your perception is because it's actually I don't know. It could be good. It could be bad. I don't know. It depends. Because like if you go out there and it's like a national park and you're doing it and you don't always have chickens, like they may get mad and
Yeah.
attack the campers or something. I don't know. It's just, it's all about your
Location,
style.
location.
Yeah. Right. For sure. For sure. Okay.
But,
So
we, like you said, we've been here a while, and you got a little one to get back to. And
yeah.
Mama's over here waiting for us to get back to what we usually be doing about this time.
Okay. Well, okay. So everybody, please go to Backwoods Cryptids on YouTube and subscribe and find.
And not just Bigfoot. I deal with all cryptids. I'll take on Dogman, Bigfoot, reptile, whatever. If it's in my area, I'm going to look into it.
Yeah. Oh man, reptilians and stuff. Yes. Mari said, bring a $5 rotisserie chicken. Yes.
Right now, I've got 341 subscribers.
Hey, awesome. Well, let's get those numbers up, y'all. Y'all go over there and subscribe. Greg does great boots on the ground research. And if you guys are into old green eyes, if you even type in old green eyes in a search engine, Greg's videos come up. Okay.
Now, I want to say this to anyone out there as a researcher: obey the laws to where you're going. For example, in the battlefield, you can't carry a rifle, you can't carry a shotgun, but you can carry a handgun. So if you know the area doesn't allow long arms, don't carry them. Go with the laws. Please.
Go with the law. That's right. Don't break no laws, y'all. Don't break no laws. And yeah, and it pays. It's good to have family that works at the battlegrounds, to the battlefield.
Well, I'm retired now, but yeah, this was years ago. But most of those folks all know me.
That's wonderful. Well, I hope to come up there and do some research with y'all. And please tell Kelsey I said what's up. And y'all have a wonderful night.
Right now, she's right here listening.
Okay, wonderful. Well, I hope to see you soon. And thanks. Like I said, y'all, please go and subscribe to Backwoods Cryptids on YouTube. All right, y'all. Well, everybody, thank y'all so much for being here tonight. This has been a fantastic show. I really enjoyed it. Yes, thank you for being here, Greg. And I want to thank everybody for all the super stickers tonight. You guys went out. Y'all came in clutch tonight with all the super stickers.
That's some ultra fandom right there. Ultra fans.
Yeah. Thank you. And Long Island Bigfoot, thank you for being a member for 7 months. And thank you for the super stickers, y'all. And thank you to Larry for gifting all those memberships. We got a bunch of new members tonight. Thanks to Larry. So thank you so much.
Take a round of applause for Larry, everybody.
Yeah. Thanks, Larry. Y'all come back and see me on Monday. Okay. Tomorrow. Okay, well, I'm going to be on Midwest Night Watcher.
I'm to catch it after.
Yes. Okay. I'm going to be on Midwest Night Watchers tomorrow at 5 p.m. Eastern. And then I'm going to be on E.D. Testerman, Eric's channel at 7 p.m. Eastern tomorrow night. I'm still busy, y'all, even on my off days. So y'all can see me live.
We don't get off days. What you talking about?
Right? Oh, my gosh.
Researching, investigating, talking to witnesses, or like doing this.
Yeah. I mean, hey, it's never work if you're having fun, right?
And C. Duke, you're very welcome.
She says, thank you for your military service, Craig.
You're very welcome. All I can say is September 11th, 2001, I wanted my own blood revenge, and I got it.
Oh my gosh. Well, I'm glad that you are here today with us. Okay. I'm very glad. And I'm glad that we're friends. Okay. And so thank you so much, Greg. All right, y'all. Everybody have a great night. And please stay safe out there. Keep your head on a swivel and stay squatchy, I guess. I don't know. Stay squatchy, Greg. And be careful out there. Okay. And I will see you. Thank you. All right, y'all.
I said to keep himself a little bit under control there.
I will, my son. Crazy. I will. All right, everybody. Have a great night. I'll see y'all on Monday. All right. Bye, Greg.